Hey guys, welcome back, and I'm going to be doing another movie review for you guys today. And this one is on one that I recently watched, and I had seen it before, but I revisited it because I hadn't seen it for years, and I recently bought it, and that is Disaster Movie. I know, like, you're probably thinking, like, why do you even have that movie, and why are you even, bothering talking about it or whatever? But I've always liked it. It may surprise you, but I've always liked parody movies, and I know this one a lot of people say is literally a disaster, and it's one of the worst parody movies ever made, and um, it's one of those that what I would call like a guilty pleasure. Um, I mean, it definitely does have a lot of charm to it, and there's a lot of things about it that are pretty stupid and that don't make sense. But that's how spoof movies are supposed to be. But basically, what happens is that the world comes to an end, and there's a group of friends that are basically who basically band together and try to survive the world, coming to an end. And that's basically the premise of the movie. And they spoof a lot of disaster movies, like they spoof, Cloverfield, Twister, um, you know, a whole bunch of other movies, even movies that aren't even related to a disaster, like High School Musical, Hannah Montana, Hancock, The Hulk, Hellboy, Batman, Indiana Jones, Superbad, Sex in the City, stuff like that. And again, it's directed by Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, and this came out in 2008, a year after Epic Movie, which I also reviewed. So if you haven't seen that, please check it out if you want to. And this one has Matt Lanter, and he's a good actor. I like him. For those who don't know, he voiced Anakin Skywalker on the Star Wars: The Clone Wars cartoon show, the newer one. Um, and he's always good. He's also in Vampire Suck, also as Edward Sullen. And let's see who else is in there. Nicole Parker. You have Kim Kardashian in here, surprisingly. Um, and you have Gary G. Thang Johnson, Krista Flanagan, Vanessa Minnello, Carmen Electra is also in this movie, and Tony Cox is in it too. And here's the spine, and here's the back, and I'll show you guys the disc art. And this is the unrated version. I don't bother with the theatrical cut because the PG-13 version is more tame. So if you want to see it, I recommend getting the unrated versions. But yeah, I thought the unrated version of this was pretty funny. I remember seeing it years ago on TV. I can't remember if it was FX or Comedy Central. It was one of those two channels back when I was a teenager. But yeah, I saw it and I thought it was pretty funny. They also make fun of Alvin and the Chipmunks and everything, and they're all like demonic. There's a picture of one of them on the back there, so that's pretty funny. And they also make fun of Enchanted, which is the Enchanted Princess right there, which is a pretty funny part of the movie. And they spoof pretty much everything that happened around 2008. Like, it's a lot of, references to stuff that was happening around that time and pop culture references and stuff like that. And a lot of people are saying, like, oh, it's all over the place or whatever. They also spoof Juno, Beowulf, Kung Fu Panda, even. Um, and I thought it all worked pretty well. This one gets like I think it's maybe like 1.9 out of 10 on IMDb, and IMDb isn't always right, but I can see why a lot of people hate this movie. Even though I don't really have a problem with it, like I said, I consider it like a guilty pleasure. There's definitely a lot more language in this movie than there is in the theatrical version. Like, there's more F words and stuff like that, and it's definitely not for the kids. But you know, it's also very cheesy. Like you have, people getting crushed or hit by cows, which you can tell are just, fake props, stuff like that. And um, the guy that plays Batman and the Hulk is also Beowulf, and um, I think that guy's pretty funny. I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's like Barnholtz. I think it's his name, maybe. I might have gotten him wrong with somebody else, but I think that might be his name. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this one has some cool features. Like you have the sing along "I'm fucking Matt Damon," which is the finale song at the end, which is actually um, that's part of the changes for the unrated version. It's the original was "I'm dating Matt Damon," and there's also like the sitting down with a stand up and High School Musical sing along, which had a pretty good song for that one, and I liked the Matt Damon song. I thought that was pretty funny, and it's definitely very cheesy, and like the part where like Hannah Montana gets crushed and she just keeps talking like to her fans, keep rocking and everything. I thought that was pretty funny in the High School Musical parody. I thought it was funny in the uh, 10,001 BC parody, which was a dream sequence. I thought that was pretty funny in the sequence where um, the main guy, his girlfriend is sleeping with Flavor Flav. He comes out of the bed and he has like the clock like over his junk and everything, and he gets mad that she slept with him and whatever. Like he's in bed with her, meaning her boy, the guy's in bed with his girlfriend, and then he comes out of the bed also. I thought that was pretty funny, and the scene where Hulk gets his shorts ripped off, and you can tell he's wearing like underwear and everything because you don't see any junk or anything. But I thought that was pretty funny, and Alvin the Chipmunks, they look all nice and whatever, and then they become like demonic, and they're thinking they have rabies, so they start foaming at the mouth and everything. And like the puppetry worked pretty good in my opinion, and the like the whole uh, aspect of the movie is definitely um, disastrous because there's people, everybody's dying and getting crushed by you know um, what's what I'm looking for. Can't think of the word right now, but it's like it's these things, fireballs, something like that. Um, uh, I can't think of the name right now, but anyway, um, yeah, it's asteroids. There we go, asteroids. That's what it's called. Yeah, people are getting crushed by asteroids and everything, and people are all in a panic, running all over the place, and it's very goofy, very silly. There's even a spoof of Juno, and she beats the shit out of one of the Sex and the City girls, which is actually a man dressed as a woman, which I thought was pretty funny. And the Enchanted Princess, she was very funny. I liked her a lot, and it's also pretty funny that they mentioned Matt Lanter. Uh, that he's the one who destroyed Star Wars, so I thought that was pretty funny because that's who the guy is in real life. Matt Lancer voiced Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars show. So I thought that was pretty funny, and I mean, it is funny, but I wouldn't consider it like laugh out loud dying funny. You know what I mean? And it's definitely not one of the best spoof movies out there. I'd say Epic Movie is a lot better than this, and Vampire Suck is a lot better than this, Meet the Spartans is a lot better than this, Scary Movie 1 through 5 is a lot better than this. But it's definitely worth a watch. I bought it brand new, so if you're looking to buy it, buy the unrated cut. Because they added a little bit more. I mean, it's not really a huge difference. It's only like a minute longer. Um, And there's obviously some changes, like more language and stuff like that. And there's also a scene where they make fun of Michael Jackson and stuff like that, which was also pretty funny. A lot of people say how that shit's getting old now, which I tend to agree with that. But since this was years ago, it's fine. But yeah, and a lot of the ladies in here were pretty gorgeous. Same with Epic Movie and Date Movie. They had some pretty good looking women in there, and especially her. She looks good right there. And I think that the scenery was pretty good, and a lot of people say, it's just people getting hit in the head over and over again, and it's supposed to be funny, but it's not. But I think it's funny. And like I said, my humor isn't always politically correct, so I think it's funny, but that's just my taste. And I see why a lot of people hate it, even though it's a guilty pleasure for me. But I have a good time to turn my brain off for about an hour and a half and just, have fun. And that's what I do when I watch these type of movies. So if you're looking to do that, by all means, check into this movie. It's very good. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.